Number 8. The pee on a jellyfish sting lie. You've seen it in movies. You've heard it from that one friend who totally read it somewhere. You get stung by a jellyfish, and the immediate universal advice is to find a friend, or if you're a real hero, a stranger, to pee on the wound. And I get it. It sounds kind of right in a weird, gross, folk medicine kind of way. It's warm, it's liquid, and it seems like it might neutralize the venom. The problem is, it won't. In fact, if you're a true believer and someone actually pees on your jellyfish sting, you're about to have a very, very bad day. Human urine is mostly water, and as a very unfun scientific fact, fresh water or urine can actually cause the stinging cells, the nematocysts, left on your skin to fire more venom. Think of it like this. Your skin is an enemy fortress, and the jellyfish venom is a bunch of tiny dormant archers. Your pee isn't a peace treaty. It's a surprise attack that wakes up all the archers, and they immediately unload on your skin. You were in pain before, but now you're in more pain, and you smell like a public restroom. The correct, and far less awkward way to treat a jellyfish sting is to rinse it with salt water, and then, if you have it, apply vinegar or a baking soda paste. These will help deactivate the stingers. Basically, the popular advice is a biochemical trigger for more agony, which is a pretty cruel prank to play on yourself and your poor unsuspecting friends. Number 7. The suck the snake venom deception. Oh, look, a rattlesnake just bit you. What's your first instinct? If you've ever watched a terrible movie or a bad TV show, you probably think you need to slice the wound with a knife and suck out the venom like some kind of heroic, self-sacrificing human vacuum cleaner. This is maybe the most dangerously idiotic thing you can do. Let's break down why. First, you're not a Hollywood hero. You're a human with a mouth full of bacteria. That tiny cut you just made? You've now opened a super highway for every nasty microbe in your mouth to get into your bloodstream, turning a simple bite into a raging infection. But the real kicker is the venom itself. It doesn't sit there in a little puddle, waiting to be slurped up like a smoothie. It immediately disperses through your lymphatic system and bloodstream. Trying to suck it out is like trying to unstir sugar from your coffee. It's pointless, and the only thing you're guaranteed to get is a sore throat and an infection. Oh, and if you have any cuts or sores in your mouth, you've just poisoned yourself too. You've now gone from a snakebite victim to a snakebite victim with a double dose of venom and a potential blood infection. You've essentially just made everything about your survival situation worse, all because a movie told you to. Number 6. The eat your way to survival myth. Okay, you're lost in the wilderness, and you're starting to feel a little bit peckish. You see a vibrant-looking berry or a mushroom that looks suspiciously like the one from the video game you played once. A little voice in your head, probably the same one that tells you to try to fix your Wi-Fi by yelling at it, says, if an animal is eating it, it must be safe for me to eat too. This is a quick and efficient way to turn a survival scenario into a medical emergency. The phrase different strokes for different folks has never been more relevant. A squirrel's digestive system is about as different from yours as a calculator is from a croissant. What's a nutritious lunch for a bird could be a one-way ticket to stomach pumping for you. Animals have evolved specific enzymes and immunities to safely process toxins that would make a human incredibly sick or, in some cases, kill them outright. Take, for example, the monarch butterfly, which feeds on milkweed, a plant that is toxic to most animals. The butterfly happily eats it, and the toxins make the butterfly a toxic meal for predators. The moral of the story is, don't let a squirrel be your dietary guide. If you don't know what it is, don't eat it. Your stomach is not a science experiment, and this is not a reality TV show. Number 5, the if you're thirsty, drink any water fallacy. You've been walking for what feels like a week. The sun is blazing, and your mouth feels like a desert floor. You finally stumble upon a stagnant pond, a murky river, or a questionable puddle. The little voice returns, whispering, just drink it. Hydration is more important than sanitation. While it's true that you need water to survive, this is a perfect example of a short-term fix that leads to a long-term, miserable, and potentially fatal problem. That seemingly innocent-looking water is a microscopic party of bacteria, parasites, and viruses, all waiting to throw a very unpleasant housewarming party in your intestines. We're talking Giardia, cholera, E. coli, the kind of things that lead to a level of internal chaos you don't even want to imagine. Dehydration is bad, but severe diarrhea, vomiting, and fever, all of which come with drinking contaminated water, can speed up dehydration at a truly alarming rate. The fix makes the original problem 100 times worse. The correct rule of thumb is to purify all water, no matter how clean it looks. Boiling it is the gold standard, but a proper filter, or even chemical treatments, can work in a pinch. The only time you should consider drinking contaminated water is if you are literally on the verge of death and have no other option. But by then, you've probably messed up a lot of other things anyway. Number 4, the fight a bear instinct. So you're out for a stroll in the woods, humming a little tune, and suddenly you come face to face with a bear. Your heart is pounding, your palms are sweaty, and your brain is screaming, "Fight, fight, fight!" This is where your primal instincts are about to get you killed. Most people's go-to reaction is to stand their ground, maybe shout, or in a moment of pure adrenaline-fueled stupidity, try to punch it. Here's a quick reality check. A black bear can run faster than you, climb better than you, and is, pound for pound, a few hundred times stronger than you. A grizzly bear? Don't even get me started. Attempting to fight a bear is like bringing a spork to a gunfight. You are not Rocky Balboa, and the bear is not a training dummy. Your best bet is to make yourself look as big as possible, stand on a log, hold your jacket over your head, and slowly, calmly back away. If it's a black bear, you can be a little more assertive and make some noise. If it's a grizzly, you need to be quiet, submissive, and absolutely positively do not make eye contact. The fight instinct is a leftover from our caveman days when we were fighting things more our size. A bear is not a saber-toothed tiger. It's a walking tank of pure muscle and claws. The only fighting you should be doing is with your own panicked brain. Number 3, the lie down to wait for rescue. Mistake, you're in a sticky situation. Maybe you're lost, maybe you're injured. The logical part of your brain says, just stay put, someone will find you. And for certain situations, this can be the correct move. But for a majority of survival scenarios, especially in a cold environment, lying down and waiting is a surefire way to accelerate your own death. This is because the second you stop moving, you stop generating heat. Your body's engine cools down and you become a prime candidate for hypothermia, which, by the way, is a much faster killer than you think. You start to shiver uncontrollably, your movements become clumsy, and your brain, which needs heat to function, starts to get foggy. You get confused, your decision-making abilities plummet, and you can even start to feel warm and decide to take off your clothes, a phenomenon known as paradoxical undressing, which is a final, fatal glitch in your system. Instead of lying there like a human popsicle, you should be building a shelter, gathering wood, and doing light exercises to keep your body temperature up. You are a walking furnace, and your primary survival goal is to keep that furnace burning. So don't just lie there like you're waiting for a bus to a better place. You are your own best chance of survival. Number 2, the build a full-blown cabin delusion. You've seen it in the movies. The hero gets stranded and, within 24 hours, has fashioned a fully furnished log cabin with a fireplace and a miniature water wheel. You think, hey, I can do that. No, you can't. And trying to is a quick and effective way to use up all your energy, burn through your precious calories, and give yourself a brand new set of injuries. A survival shelter is not a rustic Airbnb. It's a temporary barrier between you and the elements. Your number 1 priority is to conserve energy and keep your core temperature up. A few hours spent meticulously trying to notch logs and build a perfect A-frame is a few hours you could have spent finding food, clean water, or signaling for help. The best survival shelters are often the simplest, a lean-to made of branches and leaves, or a natural cave that you can insulate with whatever you can find. Don't waste your time trying to become the next Bob Villa. The goal is to survive the night, not to be a guest on a home improvement show. Number 1, the panic first, think later mistake. The ultimate and perhaps most common survival myth is that panic is a natural and harmless response. It's not. Panic is a silent killer, and it will get you killed faster than any snakebite or bear attack. When you panic, your brain effectively shuts down. Your logical thought processes are replaced by a primal adrenaline-fueled sprint towards a horrible decision. You run when you should walk, you drink when you should purify, and you scream when you should conserve energy. Panic turns a manageable problem, like being lost, into a series of increasingly bad decisions that compound upon one another. The key to survival isn't a magical skill or some piece of forgotten wisdom. It's your ability to stay calm and rational. The very first thing you should do in any survival situation is stop. Take a deep breath. Assess your situation. What do you have? What do you need? Where are you? The most important survival tool you own is your brain. And if you let panic get the best of it, you've already lost.